Hey, it's me, Maria, back with another video. It's 5:30 exactly. It's December 10th. It's Sunday. Happy Sunday. So I'm just kind of kicking back here and doing a video that's kind of late in the day, really. But I got to tell you, I have been so busy with this little activity. I'm doing some arts and crafts in my room. And so I brought out the old sewing box and all my little threads and needles, and I'm having so much fun. I love I love sewing. I don't know, it's been a while since I made something with my hands, and I just really wanted to do something. So anyway, I'm almost finished with the project, and I might share with the project the completion. But right now, I'm just kind of in the process of getting the bulk of it done. And then, I have just a few little other things to do, and then it'll be done. There was just, I needed to get away from the whole drama of the cloning, reincarnation oddity. I had to step away from it, because it was just getting to be too much, okay? I did get some downloads that I wanted to share with you. I would like to say, though, that, I have been just trying to do other things to get this issue off my mind. It's not so much that I'm very grateful that I was Prince Alamalehu. I really am. It's the issues that led up to finding out about it, and then finding about, understanding what this happened, what that happened, and just coming to understand, like, so much pain that's involved in this. This is what I want to kind of get my mind off of and change the subject a little bit. But, every time I have those moments where I'm not doing anything or just relaxing, just trying to just meditate. I'm a meditative person. That's like fucking all I do, basically. I mean, I just like getting messages all the time. But every single message relates to this whole Prince Alamalehu thing. And, it's it's like I need something else to think about. So anyway, um, I did want to share those downloads with you, but I have been thinking a lot about how I do believe, from one of the intuitive messages that I've been getting, is that a lot of people are taking an interest in reincarnation, okay? Based on this, my little discovery about the Prince Alamalehu thing. And apparently a lot of people want to talk about it and bring it out in the open. I don't know if that's going to actually happen or not. Whatever. I will say I'm a little stunned, that this has been going on, and mainly I'm stunned at I'm just gonna say this really quick. I'm stunned at the hatred behind it. I'm stunned that someone would mistreat and abuse a little girl, when she's like in the first grade, or just have people say hateful things to someone that young. It's just like amazing. But at the same time, I'm surprised at my strength. Like, I've never let people get to me to the point of where I would just lose it. I always felt like they had the problem deep down inside. I never internalized any of that. I knew something was fucked up with them. But at the same time, it's like, man, I'm looking back and I'm thinking about all the years that were wasted of my life, the things I missed out on, and yeah, I mean, because of bullying. Bullying is what got me into this situation, and um, yeah, it's a lot to think about. And then I think about all the little double agents that I knew on the playground, and you're just like, oh my God. I just wish we did live in a little world where everything was just perfect, and there was no such thing as things like this. No such thing as cloning. No such thing as, like, people. Any of that stuff. I wish there was a world like that, in a way. Okay, because I would like to live in La La Land. I really would. I really would like to live in La La Land, where I don't have to worry about. But this is not how the world operates, and it doesn't work that way. And I guess maybe Obviously, I'm not the only clone, but I do think maybe there must have been some reason. I know that I want to go into this a little bit further into this video because I've been thinking about some really deep stuff, and this is the reason why I had to break out my arts and crafts because, you know, it just got too deep. It just got too deep for me. Like, I'm coming to the realization that, you know, because me and my ex-sister Lisa, we're very close, okay? Like, close in age, all right? We grew up sharing the same bedroom when we moved to the house in Lancaster, okay? So, we shared the same bedroom. We used to go to the store together. We used to do all this stuff together, okay? So, I came to the Gordon's family when I was about 3 years old, okay? And so then my sister, I'm getting the understanding that my sister knew all along that since we were kids that I was adopted. And it's like, you wonder how these people could carry out these little, I don't know, kind of like rituals, or well, not like actual rituals, like where they put me on an altar and they're like sacrifice, nothing like that, okay? Thank goodness none of that happened. But what I'm saying is, it's like, how is it that you could just pretend and play like that? Like you could just pretend that that we're all pretending that you're our blood relation, and there really is not. It's like a whole game that somebody played. I feel like my life was played like a whole game. It's just like it's like mind blowing to me. It shatters my brain in so many different ways, right? Um, So that bothered me. And then I started to think about, now this is getting really deep, okay? I was thinking about, okay, the downloads that I'm getting, okay, are telling me, and I could be wrong, okay, but I don't believe that, at least I don't feel as though my birthday is actually January 15th. Okay, I do believe I'm 52 years old, okay? But I don't believe that it's January 15th. Here's why I'm saying this, is because I personally believe that I have a twin, okay? Now, I don't know why this is downloading in my brain, and maybe after I meditate a little bit, it'll come to me that maybe that's not right, but this is what I'm getting. I'm getting that I have a twin, okay? Now, the reason why I'm not being a drama queen over this issue, nah. But I do know that, and this is like public knowledge, okay? So what I'm saying is, because I don't like to talk about, okay, like conspiracy theories and stuff like that. I don't like that stuff ever coming out in my mouth on YouTube, because some things, people say things and they might purposely get themselves targeted because they're saying things that are not appropriate, okay? I would never do something like that, okay? I would only openly talk about something that is public knowledge, okay? So, I'm not sure if people are familiar, well, I'm sure some people are familiar with who Joseph Mengele was, right? Joseph Mengele was he was back in Nazi Germany, okay? And he had this, they did a lot of experiments, human experiments on people in Nazi Germany. Now, Joseph Mengele had weird fascinations with twins. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, and the reason why I was tripping on this stuff so much, because I was thinking like about, now this is public knowledge, okay? Like, I'm not saying a conspiracy theory, this is public knowledge. I am not like a hellraiser, somebody's trying to like upset anything. But I do know there was a thing called Operation Paperclip, okay? And basically what Operation Paperclip was, which I was going to do a video about this, right? Because I was typing out this whole script and I kept thinking, you're putting in so much energy on a script when you should be using all your energy into the scripts you're using for Patreon, right? But I kept thinking, okay, well, my Patreon account's getting all fucked up right now. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't want to do a Patreon. I need to separate myself from this Patreon issue right now. and I need to focus on just doing a quick video for Sunday, because I want to make sure that if I say I'm going to do a video on Sunday, I'm going to do a video on Sunday. But I wanted to do this video on Joseph Mengele, right? But then I said, no, I'm not going to do it. But I do think it's important that I mention this issue about Joseph Mengele, because, you know, of his interest in human experiments, right? I get the feeling that this experiment, because like I said, I'm not the only clone, okay? And I'm not saying other clones were twins either, but I do think that, he was either involved in it indirectly, or this whole thing was inspired by Joseph Mengele. And I'm talking about my cloning specifically. Now, I don't know if people got a chance to, I get this feeling that people had a chance to like clone people that they wanted or whatever, and this is what happened. I don't know the whole thing, and like I said, I will find out more when I get more downloads, but I do believe that, you know, this particular Joseph Mengele inspired either other people, or like he may have overseen some of this that went on with me. I don't know. I know he passed away in 1979. I know I did a lot of reading about Joseph Mengele in, I don't think it was like 2008, 2009. I started getting interested in that. That might have something to do with my background. I don't know. But like I said, I need to meditate a little bit more on it. And that was another reason why I didn't want to make a big presentation video about Joseph Mengele, because it's like this is floating around in my head, and it really, I don't believe that Joseph Mengele plays that active of a role in my cloning. I do believe he had something to do with it, even if he influenced it indirectly, because I don't think that he. I think he was somehow a part of it. Okay, but anyway. I do think that there was other clones that were created, and I was around a lot of clones. I do know that I had some playmates that I suspect that were also clones, and you know, I think because of the racial issue, I do think that there were certain things that were done on purpose. You know, and obviously I was targeted. My race played a huge role in it. And the fact that Joseph Mengele was a Nazi, and the fact that Operation Paperclip, the whole purpose of that operation was to allow former Nazis to, well, that wasn't the original purpose, okay? That was not the original purpose. But they ended up having some people from that area, scientists and stuff, come over here and work and be able to change their names and work and operate and live whatever and start their lives over again. Okay, so some of this I just kept thinking, and I'm just like thinking a little too deep about all of this, and so yeah, I do need to step away from this issue because it's too weird to me. You know, it's like really too weird. Anyway, moving on from that, I did get another download that my dad did have some struggles, like, you know, with my brother. Okay, now when I was younger living in that house, I remember my brother and my dad would get in arguments, you know, and then of course that would end up in my dad. My dad was old fashioned, okay, so branches, belts, whatever you can spank with, he was going to use it, okay? And I know that's so funny because I know there was a lot of parents that I would observe, and they were into that time out, putting the kid in the corner and stuff like that. Oh no, I wish we had time out. We never had time out. It was always, Dad was really, you know, it was horrible. But I will say that, you know, my brother was disrespectful a lot of times, okay, and in shocking ways. And this is not me trying to tear it down. I'm just kind of sharing him down specifically right now, or just trying to bring up something. But I'm sharing with you my downloads of what I'm getting. And I was never an angel when I was growing up. I'm just trying to understand my family dynamic. Why would, you know, like I said, it's like everyone treated me so badly. Like they must have really thought, I don't know. Anyway, my dad and my brother didn't have a good relationship, and I know that there were times where my dad would um, I hate to use the word discipline, because really when you spank kids and beat them and stuff, as much as I love my father, I didn't think that he was right to do that. But we all make mistakes, and we're all, parents. It's like a trial and error thing. People make mistakes. Maybe they don't make the best decisions. But I do know that there were times where Rashawn would say something out of turn, and then my dad would just like let him have it, right? And apparently I didn't know that that was just their little issue every once in a while. From what I'm getting now, when I'm like these downloads I'm getting, is that this relationship was kind of fucked up from day one. Like the day that my father saw my dad did not take to my brother. You know what I mean? And I don't know. You would think. I just remember my dad said he didn't like his eyes. Like there was something fucked up about my brother's eyes. Now, I remember my dad telling me that, and everyone knew in the family that my brother was born with gray eyes, okay? Gray is unusual for someone of our skin color, but it can happen, okay? But I do know that as he got a little bit older, his eyes got more brownish, but there was just something about my brother my dad did not like. You know what I mean? And apparently, my brother must have had some deeper resentments towards my father that I didn't know about. I thought when my father passed away, because I mourned the death of my father, and then I just thought that my brother did in his own way. I didn't know that he had any like resentments towards my dad at all. So that was kind of a weird download. Also, I do understand now, because my dad never talked to me about his past lives. He never talked to me that my dad realized or knew that he was like this reincarnation of King Tut. He never said that. Never, like I said, I would have remembered something like that. I would have been like, really? I mean, I would just like, I would have dug in for more information, because that would have been something big in my life. That's huge, right? Not as a brag piece, but more like a trip piece. Like, wow, man, like that's ancient, that's mysterious, that's cool, that's right up my alley, right? But he never mentioned anything like that. But what I'm understanding when I meditate on my father, is that he was able to remember all his past lives, all of them. And I was not just Prince Alamalehu. Apparently, I was my father's wife in a past life, meaning I was married to King Tut. Now that sounds really, like I said, it does. It sounds so crazy. It does sound crazy. And I am the kind of person, I don't want to believe odd and unusual things, even though I'm odd and unusual myself, okay? I'm not. I'm the kind of person, I don't like to believe in anything or focus on anything unless I truly believe in what I'm saying. I believe in what I'm saying. Also, I did mention that I do think that I have a twin, and so that means that my birthday is not January 15th. But I do think, well, I do kind of have my idea as to why they would say, oh, you were born on January 15th. January 15th is the birthday of Martin Luther King. Now, I think Martin Luther King was assassinated like maybe 3 or 4 years before 1971, and I think that a lot of people in the black community were of course very proud and loved Martin Luther King, so they just gave me that birthday is what they probably did, anyway. But that's not, I don't believe that's my birthday. But anyway, those are the downloads that I have. um I would think, is there a moral to all of this? I guess, you just never really know who you are and how things turn out. Um, it is shocking to me, and I do spend too much time thinking about it. I mean, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful, but I don't like the dark side of it. I don't like the dark side of it. You know what I mean? And I don't like the fact that yeah, the dark side of it, meaning that I was set up to be bullied. Like I was set up to be tracked, monitored. I was set up to be pointed out as like something wicked, You know, that's like, wow, you know, how in the world, that's more than an experiment. That's more than an experiment. That's fucking sick. You know, I would never, and I keep thinking over and over and over again, like, how disturbed that makes me feel. You know, because all my life I've only tried to seek, you know, spirituality. That was the only thing I really cared about, and I did so sincerely. And all these times when I was sincerely trying to be, you know, friendly and caring to people, people thought that I was like something wicked. Like, how could you even think that? You know, it blows me away. It blows me away. And then the fact that my family carried on a charade, and you makes you wonder how in the world could somebody do something like that, or say things to you that sound endearing and not even fucking meaning. It's just like some fucking script or something. It's like, wow. Yeah, it does get to a person after a while. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this video. I did want to come on here and make a video really quick. And that's pretty much all I have to say. And I'm trying not to get a little too frustrated with the issue with Patreon. I haven't checked my Patreon account or anything, but I do want to continue making videos. It's just that I get a little traumatized anytime I feel like I'm interacting or something or whatever. It just I didn't like the interaction. The interaction with the people that were like stalking me was like a little creepy, a little bit is how I felt. Anyway, but I don't want to. I canceled the Joseph Mengele quote unquote documentary mainly because I do want to focus on doing what I need to do for Patreon, and I don't know what's going on with my account. I am frustrated about it, but I'm trying to stay motivated and write my new content, but not like worry am I just wasting my time because I don't know if things are going to work out, you know, I'm tired of the runaround. I'm tired of, I wish this never happened, but I do understand in some ways it kind of had to happen, but at the same time it's like, wow, you know, um, to me, it does have a very dark undertone, considering the kids that I went to school with, and the fact that people would be allowed to know that I'm a clone and think of me as something like, what's the word for it? Oh yeah, the Antichrist. Yeah, we're gonna point her out like she's the Antichrist. It's like, oh my God, is that what everybody in this is everybody in this country who's not like who doesn't go to church or you know, that's not a title that you should just throw around. That's like, wow, man, that's that's sensitive. You know, that's a bad thing to do. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back with another video sometime later. Take care.